Hi there. So my name is Dr. Royce.
Hi, doctor.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too. So we're here today doing a little bit of counseling. So before we start anything, I just want to inform you on confidentiality. That's one of the big things with our company here, but also just around the human services branch in general. We want to make sure that you feel safe and that your information that you're going to be sharing with us is secure. Obviously, there is a little bit of a limit to that if you say you're going to hurt yourself or be a danger to someone else as well.
Not like that.
Yeah, and I didn't assume so, so I just wanted to make sure that we get that out there, because if that was to be brought to the surface, we have to legally report it. But other than that, all of what we do in these sessions are guaranteed towards being just between you and me. If I was to speak to an advisor, I'm going to absolutely keep you on that notification and get your permission on that as well.
Okay.
So what would you say are we here for today? What do you need help with?
Well, I've been feeling really bad lately because, I don't really know why, but all I want is for people to like me, but it seems like people just reject me. Me and my wife argue a lot, and frankly, I think our marriage is on the rocks, and people don't want to hang out with me. People don't return my calls, don't answer the phone. I'm just starting to feel really, really bad. I don't know what it is about me. Maybe I can figure out so that I can change.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling that way. I definitely want to get you to the point where you're feeling a lot more positive about yourself, that we can kind of work towards these relationships and see what can be changed, both potentially in your life, but also maybe in the lives of the other people around you.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So what exactly is the problem? What are people saying about you that are making you feel this way?
Well, they think that I have too strong a self-will, that I'm always trying to get my way, and that I'm not very flexible, and I want things done just a certain way, and I get upset too easily when they're not. I don't let other people have their opinions. And I get down on my wife about the way she cooks, the way she does the laundry, the way she cleans, what her opinions are. I feel like I'm too rigid, and it's affecting my relationships.
Gotcha.
And might be affecting my marriage. So the other day, my wife was doing my laundry, and she was putting the clothes on the hangers, and I asked her, how come you don't button the top button when you put it on the hanger? She goes, because that's not the way I do laundry. I said, yeah, but that's the way I do laundry.
Gotcha.
And that started an argument and a discussion, and it was really bad. I felt horrible about it. But I told her I felt like she just didn't want me to look good, because my shirts, when you don't button the top button, when you hang them up, they get wrinkled, and they don't look good when you wear them. And I told my wife that she just wants me to look bad because she doesn't like me or something. That started a big argument.
Well, so it seems, just to kind of summarize what you're saying, it seems like you really want to just control certain situations, which having control over a situation is not a bad thing at all. But we definitely have to do it in moderation. So maybe when looking at something like this laundry situation that you've told me about, maybe it becomes more of a compromise, and working through that, definitely a lot more discussion instead of argument. Um, so real quickly, I would love to get you to say all the nice things about yourself, because you obviously, you're a smart man. You have a lot going for you. You have a wife, and I'm assuming have a job as well. Would I be correct? Okay, so all these kind of things, like what do you have in your life that you really take pride in? What keeps you being you?
I take pride in the fact that I am successful in my business career, but I'm not very happy. I don't have my relationships don't seem to be right, but I do good work and I make good money.
Okay.
I don't want to lose my wife, and I don't want to be alone, no friends. So,
So it seems like you're very, very on top of it at work, correct? But not as much with your relationships, mostly towards the wife, I guess. A little bit with the friends as well. Coworkers, it seems like you probably work fine, correct?
yeah, I can work good with people, but I think I'm a little bossy, a little unflexible. And some people say that I just step on people's toes. They'll say something or they'll do something, and then I'll just contradict them and tell them that they're wrong, or that they should do things a different way, and then that just upsets people. And then they think like I'm an asshole or something. Don't want to hang around me.
So consciously, what makes you feel like? What are you
Well,
obviously
I feel like
disorganization?
when people do things different than the way I think they should be done, I feel like they're disrespecting me, or that they're treating me like I'm stupid. And it makes me upset.
Gotcha.
And sometimes I just can't stand, like when my wife sets the table or makes dinner, not to have the salt and pepper on the table and the napkins on the table, and I get kind of upset with that. Or when she does the dishes, that she needs to put a tablespoon of bleach in the rinse water to kill the germs, but she won't do it. And sometimes I ask her, did she wash her hands before she goes in the kitchen? She gets all upset about that too.
Well, it seems like because obviously you still have your job. You, for the most part, work well with other coworkers, but you might be using a defense mechanism that we psychoanalytic counselors will call displacement, where you're transferring all of the pent up energy that kind of builds and all that frustration that you're building with certain situations at work, and pushing that towards your family. Does that sound correct a little bit?
Yeah, because I think at work I'm a little more tolerant, but at home I'm more rigid.
And it might be because you're so comfortable with your wife already that you feel like she'd be more likely to give in to the ways that you like to do things, correct? So I'm wondering if part of your background might be what's bringing all of that out in your family. So give me a little bit of background about yourself, and to feel comfortable, I can talk a little bit about my family as well, and how I got to where I am. But
Well,
would you like to start?
I had 3 brothers and 1 sister, so kind of medium-sized family. My parents were very strict. They were Catholics, and so they were very strict about how we dressed and going to church and doing our chores. And my father was real stern, and he if I didn't make grades, he would get very upset, and he used to whip us if we were bad with his belt. And it was a kind of a hard life growing up. My father controlled everything.
Gotcha.
I couldn't really do anything without his permission, and it seemed like I was always getting in trouble, being told that I was bad or wrong, and just really being under my father's complete control.
So a lot of pressure from family stress, but specifically that father role. He really was the boss of all you guys.
Yeah. If
Alright.
we didn't make him happy, then he would let us know.
Wow. Well, I think that's definitely where we're gonna have to start. And you know that is one thing about changing is it has to be part of what you want to do.
Right.
I don't want to prompt you to do anything you don't want to, or don't need to do as well. So I'm going to be in your best interest as much as I can.
Right.
So we're going to go through a technique real quick. We call it free association. So free association is kind of just spitting out everything that's coming in your mind. So one way that we can get that out is by having little words on. I'll start this exercise, but probably having you close your eyes and just kind of clear your mind for a second. Maybe breathe in, breathe out. So I'm gonna start saying a couple words, and I just want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind. So, father.
Strict. Mean.
Office.
Hard work.
Organization.
Good.
Childhood.
Painful.
So we could probably stop now. Got a little bit of an idea of what's going on. So gave a few words, just kind of briefing between your early childhood, like you got your father, childhood in general, but also kind of now and how the stress at work has been getting to you indefinitely, then moving that onto your life. So it seems like a lot of this stirs from your childhood. So if we were to look at Freud and Erickson's psychosexual and psychosocial models, a lot of what your personality can develop, or a lot of the ways that your personality can develop, stirs from what happened in that early childhood. So what time would you say all of this stuff with your father really kind of got to you the most?
I think when my father realized that I was not as smart as he hoped I would be, he was not pleased with me as far as how smart I was. He wasn't happy with how good I was in sports. I'm not good in sports, and he didn't want to ever spend time helping me with sports or playing sports with me because he figured I was just never going to be good at it. So I think in my father's eyes, he always made me feel not as smart as him, not very good in sports, not manly, putting me down and telling me I was bad. And it was far back, way back in my childhood.
Gotcha. If you were to give me an age, what do you think? Even if it's an age range.
2 or 3. I
Really?
remember
So even early.
being told I was a bad kid. And, like, if I had like an accident in my pants or went to bed or something, my father would just yell at me and tell me how bad I was.
Mm.
And, so I remember that.
Well, there's definitely a difference between discipline and, in a sense, kind of verbal abuse, which it seems like you've gone through. So, wow. So starting in that 2 to 3 range is what we call the anal stage or early childhood. So a lot of what you're trying to build during that time has to do with autonomy and being able to fend for yourself, to do things yourself and learn different tasks, and that kind of continues to stem for a lot of the rest of your childhood, where you develop those skills, and maybe that's why, like, because of your father's wrath, in a sense, towards all of you, but especially towards you, that there's a lot of lasting impression for sure. All right, so just wondering how.
Like, I felt like he controlled me and bossed me around, and now I'm trying to control everything.
Yeah.
I don't feel good unless I can have things my way.
So just wondering how has this been affecting you recently? Like maybe how's your sleeping pattern?
I don't sleep that good. Sometimes I have bad dreams, like people are leaving me or running away from me, or I can't hold on to loved ones, and I worry about why people don't want to talk to me, why people give me the cold shoulder at night. Sometimes I can't sleep too well.
Alright, so a lot of bad dreams, just kind of infrequent sleep. This has been a part of your life. How long would you say that's been going on?
It's just started getting worse the last few years. My wife started pushing back against all my little trivial things that I want done my way.
Alright. Well, my suggestion is, why don't we create a sleep journal, something that you can look back to every night. Maybe record some of those dreams that we have been looking at, and we'll see if we can do a little more dream analysis with that. Just like we've been talking about some of the dreams and how family's been running away from you, friends have been running away from you. So it seems like that loss of control and relationship has really been stemming from your childhood, and so we need to see if we can change that. But it's going to be in small steps. And first things first, we need to continue to learn into, what is developing, what's developing in your unconscious mind. So every morning, see if you can write a little entry in a journal for me, and we'll keep going through them in the sessions. And also, I want you to start writing a list of people that you have who are constant in your life, people who you know are not going anywhere, people who you trust in so far, and then also give me a list of those who are kind of on the line, because you see, you seem like you have a lot of people who are kind of iffy. staying with you, not staying with you, and it depends on your mood in a sense, and sometimes on their mood if they're not able to take part of your personality and seeing who you are. So those are some next steps to definitely go by. But also, yeah, definitely. So we'll do a little bit more free association and throwing out some more words. We'll dig deeper into what's going on with your father and all of that relationship. But before we leave, I just had one question. How has your relationship with your father been recently?
It's strained a lot. We don't communicate a lot. When we do, it's not very comfortable. I feel like he doesn't like me, and so I find that I'm always trying to measure up. But maybe I'm wrong. He might love me to death. I just
doesn't show it in the way that you think is
I feel
needed.
like I need it or something.
Okay, well, so I think a lot of the relational problems are stemming from that initial father-son relationship that's been broken. Obviously, we'll have to work with your wife a little bit and get all the arguments and figure out that situation. But first things first, let's hit the source of it and work with your father and figure out your side of the relationship, what you would like in a relationship. And I want to see if we can get to a point of maybe having you write him a letter, or if we are able to get him on the phone or in session with us today, if that's okay with you. So we'll keep working towards these goals, and we'll set a plan for next week.
Okay.
And it's been great getting to know you. If you ever have any questions, feel free to call my office, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, or email me. And it's been a great time learning about your life and trying to help you out.
Thanks, Doctor.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.